This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m. The first thing on the agenda is approving prior minutes. So do we have any discussion about prior minutes? Okay,
Move to approve the minutes.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Now we're moving to the mayoral communications. It looks like the mayor is not visiting us today. So we will move on to public speak. So typically so I want you to know that we can't respond to anything you say.
Yes.
And you can't ask us questions. But we will take notes and then respond to you via email or talk to you afterwards.
Okay.
But we can't respond during the meeting.
Yep.
So do you feel like you understand the public speak?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, great. Awesome. So you may begin.
okay. Thomas Strout, Kelly Street, Easthampton. This is my third visit to this committee. Back when, first time was when Owen was running it, second time when JT was running it, and here I am again. So thank you for having me. My issue that I brought up there, and I have a proposal that we talked about, and Mr. Nettleman was on the call, so he's well informed. We've talked about this a couple times, pretty in a lot of detail. East Street is a huge problem, I think. The solution, I think, is to simply right now just get some fog lines on that street, make that a 10-foot lane, but mark that as a lane, because some parts of that street are almost 20 feet. Of one lane is almost like 18 feet wide. Then it goes a little bit narrower, but it is the wild, wild west. I'm on that road every day, either in a car or a bicycle. I'm also on Holyoke Street. I'm in between those two on Ketty, so I know about it very well. East Street is a drag strip. It's a 3-mile drag strip. There's a coffee shop payoff at the end now, and a cannabis store. I mean, it's wild, and it's a beautiful street. This would be traffic calming in a very traditional way by making 10-foot lanes, just like you did on Holyoke Street, and just letting that whatever's left over on the side of the fog lines be what it is. Don't call it a bike lane. Don't try to, because I understand that's a lot of money. It's a whole nother level. But when I presented this last time, everyone was in agreement. Mr. Nuttleman said that he's going to activate the paint and get that going. That's now, well, that was probably the spring of this year. So I understand he's got a lot on his plate. I mean, I understand how things move, but I'm here again to emphasize the importance that street just needs to be calmed down. The narrowing the road calms cars down. They know where they are. They're kind of swerving around right now. The other element to this is this, which is, we see this is not unique to Easthampton, but that word limit might as well just be minimum. It's that bad. And again, I'm on Holyoke Street and East Street every day. Holyoke Street's a drag strip. East Street's a drag strip. We've got to get something going on where we either lower that number, make it 30, because then they'll go 35 or 40. Everyone's going 40, more like 45 on East Street right now. No doubt. I mean, I've clocked it. I know it. You put those, I've been told that the signs that you put up, the radar signs that, say your speed is going like this is a solution. I understand that it is. And it's one of the few tools in your toolbox, and I appreciate that. But when it was on Holyoke Street, it was at the end of my street. I could show it to you, but I won't bother you. I just filmed, several minutes of that, and you could see no one's going 35. The slowest person was 40. And, it's an epidemic. I mean, we have to take back our streets. This is a beautiful town. We've started to do some good things on this stretch here, and there's more going to happen with Main Street, but we need to send a message to people coming over the mountain that we mean business, that there's people here, these are residents, it's a community that needs to be protected. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. We do not have any guests today. So I think that concludes public speak. And we will move on to our quarterly review of Public Safety Department.
I'm going to excuse myself. Thank you all
Thank
very
you so much. We are going to we're going to bring up our presentation. Let's see. Great. This is our presentation from Director Donovan, and Chief Benson is prepared to speak about it.
I'll go.
Okay.
He'll fill in the gaps where I'm not very comprehensive enough. So thank you for having us both here to go over both fire and EMS operations tonight. Greatly appreciate it. We really enjoy this. We try to keep all of the city leadership informed. Back in at the end of the calendar year, we put together our annual report. We sent that out to everyone to give people that very detailed, comprehensive look at the last calendar year's operations. I know we met briefly back in January when this committee first got formed. And then certainly being here tonight, giving you kind of a better snapshot. We have some statistics from the current fiscal year from July to today, and also some different numbers from the calendar year forward that I'd like to share with you. So if we can just go forward. I always start my presentations with our mission statement. I always think it's important because it grounds us into our main purpose for the community. And I'm not going to read it. And by the way, this presentation was emailed to all of you as well. But basically, just through all of our services, ensuring that we have the utmost quality service provided to the community, both in fire, EMS, and also through our public education, fire prevention divisions as well. And I always close out and remind people that when we talk about fire and EMS, sometimes EMS drowns out the fire side because of the sheer volume and number of calls that the ambulances are going on. But we have that mission of fire protection as well. And it's that balance between making sure we have proper fire protection throughout the community also. Next slide, please. When you look at the structural makeup of our department, it always starts with the citizens of Easthampton. I always emphasize this, the community always determines level of service. In every community you go to, they determine that, and it's basically then prioritized through the budget. So we work truly for the citizens, then it comes down to the mayor and the city council. And then when we get to our organization, we have the fire chief position. We have a full-time office manager, Deputy Chief Benson, who you have right here. Directly under Deputy Chief Benson, we've got the 4 groups, A, B, C, and D group. Those are the shifts that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They rotate through their schedules. So each group is overseen by a captain, and then they have 7 firefighters scheduled per shift as well. And then on the left side, I mentioned a minute ago in our mission, fire prevention, education, and public outreach. So we have a full-time captain, Dan Constantine, and we have 1 inspector. And they do, they don't get a lot of credit that they should. They do such a fabulous job. I always share with people, when you look at the current situations they're dealing with, right now it's all energy storage systems, it's photovoltaic systems, and now it's short-term rentals as well. In addition to that, you have all the fire codes and state laws that require smoke detection inspections, oil burners, propanes, underground storage tanks, liquor license inspections. Those are just like the top tier ones that they deal with on a daily basis. And then over on the far right side, we have our full-time training officer, Captain Bobby Dragon. He oversees our internal training programs for both fire and EMS for all the personnel. So that's kind of our structural makeup right there. Next slide. So let's just do a quick review of the budgets as we're winding down one and going into the other one. So for the current year, FY26, we do have a supplemental appropriation that we worked with the mayor and his financial team that's coming before the full city council for the first reading tomorrow night. It's in the amount of $127,500. The reason for that, when this current budget was developed, the union contract, the local bargaining unit, was not finalized until after the budget was already submitted and approved. So that was one of the driving factors. And then the other more significant driving factor was we had a retirement back on December 22nd. Richie Blunstrom retired. And based on contractual requirements, we had to buy out a certain amount of sick time, and also state law under the Wage Act requires you to buy out vacation time. And then the other one was the buyout for one of our injured on duty firefighters because they were injured for the entire calendar year. They could not use any vacation time, so we had to pay that back to them as well. So when you look at the reasons why, those are the two driving factors for the reason for that supplemental request closing out this current fiscal year. And as I go through this, please stop me at any point if something doesn't make sense or you have further questions about anything. Looking in,
I actually do have a
yeah,
question.
no, please.
I know you had emailed us about a supplemental request and stuff, and I know that this is the budget that is basically baked into what the mayor will present or whatever will be hashed out and stuff. The supplemental budget is an additional amount on top of that, correct?
It is. So when you, for example, obviously fire and EMS, when we did our projections looking out to the end of this fiscal year, June 30th, we projected that we were going to be $127,000 short.
Okay.
The reason for that was the two driving factors I just outlined. So what that supplemental appropriation will do, it'll come before you tomorrow night. It's on the agenda. It will go to you guys for first reading. And then typically, historically, it will get kicked to finance. Finance is where it's deliberated and more detailed questions are asked.
Right.
And then it comes back to the full council for the final vote.
That's, I guess, yeah, that answers.
So that's
that. I was wondering
that's how
the
it will,
process.
how
Okay.
it works.
Chief Norris, you told us, I think previously, that you had wanted to put this into the last year budget, but then it was asked to not put it in because it was just estimated at that point. Is that something you told
Correct.
us?
And that was because of the union contract. They were still in active negotiations. And the city leadership at that time was unsure what the final percentages for raises were going to be.
Yeah.
So they did not want to increase it more than they had to at that time, not knowing definitively what the end result was going to be.
How soon do your firefighters tell you about their retirement? Like, do you know about a year in advance that it's coming up usually?
We always ask. So a great question. I'll give you this next year's budget. I always ask our personnel, hey, everyone, is anyone thinking about retiring? So next year, I have 2 people that may retire. But contractually, I'll use our senior firefighter. He may leave. He's telling me he's probably going to leave January of 2027. Okay, so what I do with the mayor and his financial team, I give them that heads up because of the contractual requirements for that and those potential buyouts. So now, come next January, when firefighter ABC says, hey, 2 weeks from now, I'm done, at least the mayor and the city had that general awareness that this probably was happening. But do they have any obligations to tell us? No. I can have somebody walk in our office tomorrow and say, I'm done, I'm leaving. And based on the contract, they can do that. And we still have to pay them a portion of their sick time. And based on state law, you have to pay them their regular wages, which includes their vacation time under the Wage Act.
Second follow-up question. So if you know that someone is retiring, do you build that into the budget that you present to the mayor, or?
No. Historically, what the city has chosen to do, we give them the heads up. They don't want to build it into the budget. They usually will do it as a supplemental mid-year or whenever it comes up, because they don't want that, whatever that dollar amount is, they don't want that bleeding into the prior year's regular budget cycle. So I think in my 6 years now, I can tell you they've always done it as a supplemental appropriation, not built into the regular budget.
And so then you make the supplemental appropriation during the free cash season.
Correct. Correct.
All right. Great. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. And then again, so that's closing out this year. Those are the reasons why. Then with FY 27, again, we're still working with the mayor and his financial team to finalize our current budget. We all saw the budget letter that came out from the mayor's office, which basically said level service your department and then level fund your operational needs. So basically meet all the contractual requirements from the collective bargaining agreements and then level service everything else. So that's what we did. We're still working to finalize a couple of those numbers that will then be brought forward to the city council. When you look at next year, the priority, which are 2 capital projects, are EMS equipment. And I put in parentheses there, cardiac monitor stretchers, power loads, and CPR machines. So that's all equipment on the ambulances. And all of that equipment right there, it's known as like biomechanical equipment. It's required to have a service contract. I'll talk later on about the Department of Public Health when they come in annually to inspect all of our ambulances and equipment as part of our ambulance license. They look at the service contracts on this equipment here. The monitors are significantly in need of repair. The newest one we have right now is a 2018, and then Deputy will correct me if I misspeak here. It's a 2018, I believe, that is the newest one. Some of the other monitors that we have 4 monitors. The other 3 are 12, 13 years old. The typical lifespan of one of those monitors is 8 years. So what happens is when we go to get these service contracts, they don't want to put them on a service contract because they're so far over that expected life expectancy of that piece of equipment. So, and we've spoken with the mayor about this. They're well aware of that. And then the other one is a new ambulance. Again, bigger item to tackle. We have 3 ambulances. They're all licensed at the paramedic level. The oldest one is a 2018. It's got about 140,000 miles on it. And to give you an idea, each year those ambulances have anywhere from 20 to 25,000 miles per year added to them. Anytime an ambulance gets over 100,000 miles based on industry best practice and experiences, the state, when they come in, they kind of nudge you now to start a replacement plan for that. The other 2 ambulances, there are frontline ambulances. One we got free for a federal grant back in 2023. The other one was fully funded from the cannabis account here for the city as well.
I have a question about the ambulances. You said that you indicated more or less that there were ambulance
for the council, so I can be a little more focused and detailed and show you some equipment. So
sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi.
Everyone have a great night.
Yeah, me too. It didn't get recorded.
Can you just log me on my email whenever you get a sheet?
No, I did that already.
Get recorded. You want to start over?
Yeah.
Have a good night. See ya.
It didn't get recorded. Something happened when I did the share screen. I had it on and it was recording. Remember, I could see all this stuff and it had this going, but then for some reason it exited the whole meeting and I had to just sign back onto it.
So, let me look.
The good news is there will be
I get notes from the Gemini. Oh yeah, it cut it off.
Did it cut because we were going too long?
Wait. Supplemental appropriation. Yeah, it cut it off at when he was talking about the supplemental appropriation of 120. Well, I'm gonna have to try. I didn't write a lot of minutes.
That he gave us a slideshow and he gave it to us, so you should be able to use
Yeah,
that.
I'll just go through that.
Yeah.
If I make a recommendation, if you can figure out how to attach the slideshow into your minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll show you. I don't know what app to open the slideshow with. It's got these and
I wouldn't recommend doing it on your phone, first of all.
that's what I usually use to do my communications with city council. So I'll go try on my computer.
You can come on down to the library if you need that.
Yeah, will you help me out, Jonathan? Okay.
may not be 50 years, but 30 years still feels like those trucks are around forever. That's like a generational purchase.
I know. Because I feel like on the
Microphone stuff.
website, they have these engines that are like from 2000 or 2002.
They do, don't they? Oh, no, it was 2008.
There's one from 2008.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you do have to remember that that's weird.
We're getting
2000 is
older.
now only 26 years ago.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying that is a long time. I have to think about it, but it is a very long
It sure
time.
is, yeah.
And the fact that I don't know about you, but the station, the public safety complex, like that was a big deal being built.
Yep.
Do you know where it used to be?
No.
In like this little tiny, I have to show you at some point because you'll be like, oh my God, do you remember where it used to be?
Like the fire station.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
He grew up here. I didn't grow up here.
I know. I just wondered if anyone ever told you. Anyway.
We'll
Okay.
find out.
Yeah, you should totally find out because then you'll appreciate like the fire station,
Yeah.
the public safety center because it's such a big deal.
Before's the best.
I have so much fun hearing from him. He's so organized.
Yeah.
But I know we have to
And
move on.
engaging.
He is.
Okay.
Are we back to can we like re-record? Is that possible?
Are we
Oh, yes,
recording now?
We are recording now.
Okay.
So we're back to recording.
Yeah.
So this is we're continuing the meeting.
Yes.
And it is 7:38. Okay, so we did part A on our quarterly review. The next thing on the agenda is roadway infrastructure and pedestrian safety items. I think we should pursue this thing here with the East Street fog lines.
Tom had actually, I had spoken with him and he stole my thunder a little bit because I was going to bring that up for this particular portion of the meeting. I agree. I think it is a worthwhile thing for the city to pursue. Living on East Street myself, I hear the people literally drag racing down. And we're getting one of those new, like speed detection things that we're supposed to be able to move around the city that is grant funded or something. And
are we getting a new one, a third one?
I believe that was something that Director Nuttleman and it kind of came out of the West Street project, I think.
Right.
And so perhaps we can set one up on East Street.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I think the fog lanes make sense. And I think pursuing the change to 30 actually does make sense because most people see 30 and then it's like, well, I can actually go 40.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of where.
I think 25 would be like too low and it would mess with people's heads and then they'd be like not following any rule.
Yeah,
But
especially for East Street. I feel
For
like
East
that would
Street,
be
yeah.
too low. But it is very much residential.
But they shouldn't be going above 40 and residential is 30. That's like the speed limit to like Plain Street is 30. So it should be like 30. But I don't know like who decides the speed limit change. Is it council? It is. We do. Okay, so are we thinking we want to write a proposal
I have
for
a
that change?
I have a question. If we want to have one of those speed things put up there, we have to, one of us, you will have to most likely contact the police department,
Yes,
request that.
yes, definitely.
But yeah, maybe we want, I mean, a proposal, or we can have a broader, I guess we can have the discussion now, but,
Trying to think of where there's even a speed limit sign on that street.
You know, so maybe it's the proposal to add multiple speed limit signs so that they're,
I'll make a point to check.
yeah. Because we definitely want one, obviously, when you're coming from Holyoke onto East Street, right? And then there are several other entrances onto East Street, like the Clark Street, the Pleasant Street, that are very popular. So we should really have those. If you're going this way, have it available at those intersections.
Yeah.
And if you're going this way, because people go from I know myself, I go from the Clark Street, and that's how I go to have.
so are you,
So we might need more speed signs, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
But people can't say, oh, I didn't know.
right. I guess my question is, would it need to be for the entirety of East Street, or is there just a particular area that it needs to be? I mean, 35, yeah, I know people go up, people will drive 45, people drive 50. It's like 10 miles over the speed limit, you can like kind of get away with it. So is it the entirety of East Street that,
Do you think that we need to write a proposal and then make that decision? Once we have the proposal submitted and it's sent to our committee?
yeah,
Because when we write a proposal, we can just write something and then we can deliberate on it once it's already here.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what would be like what we need to submit to, I guess, the council president
Yeah.
to get something on the agenda, right? Like that's just like a form that we would fill out. We kind of describe what
Yeah,
we're hoping to do.
exactly.
And then I think we could probably take that and finalize
Yes.
whatever we need in terms of like traffic rules or
Yes.
whatever.
You do have to have a proposed
That's-
amendment to the city ordinance.
An action request,
Yeah, it's an action request, but then you need to have the proposal there, like a description of
like
what.
attached paperwork, right?
Yeah, that's what they did for the bike thing. So what Connie said is that it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be what you actually want specifically. It just needs to be a starting point so that it gets sent to the committee so then we can actually work on it and bring it back as like, this is our recommendation. We need something to start with that is like a bow, you know.
And you're talking about maybe the fog lines and the change in speed
So I
limit.
think the
both.
change in the speed limit would be individual. That would be one action request. And then I think the fog lines and the speed meter, we can first do that by contacting Chief Alexander and contacting Director Element.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't think we have to do anything specific for
Yeah.
those.
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything we have to file. I think we can do that. And so each of us could take on. I can contact Chief Alexander. I can do both, but if anyone feels like they want to contact Director Element.
I mean, I'm happy to do it just because I'm on East Street and could
Right.
speak from a
Your
personal
constituent.
standpoint on that. I think I would love to hear their input on the speed change as well. And I wonder if they would
Yes.
have insight into your question of part of the street versus the whole street.
Right.
And I would just be curious, I think. what-
He's, oh, gosh.
We would probably want to invite them to the meeting where it's first on our agenda and we're doing the first deliberation of it. I think that we should have them here so that it's part of the minutes deliberation and like the information is public. I don't think we should go through. I think we should invite them to be here, but then I don't think we should be doing a back and forth with them on email. I think it would be better to do that in person. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that. Just to clarify, I think what I was looking for was so say next month we do our review with
Yeah.
Chief Alexander. I guess what I was thinking was float the idea to him then and kind of have that sort of initial
That's a great idea,
conversation
yeah.
before we go. Because
Yeah,
if he's like, no, maybe that doesn't make sense for this particular situation
Yeah,
for
yeah,
X, Y, and Z reasons, then we've saved
Right.
ourselves the work of doing it.
okay,
Or perhaps he'll be like, that's, totally on board.
great. So yeah, since it's coming next month, why don't we just, like you said, hold on until,
But we can still make progress on, I think, those other steps.
yeah, and then
Emails.
starting the resolution, we can start like getting that ready. So it would be one person. I mean, I can do it. Who would like write it up and then submit it to Mary Ann. You want me to do it? I can do it.
I'm never fine.
What resolution are you talking about?
I mean, it's not a resolution, it's a
Okay.
proposed ordinance amendment.
Okay. But are we
So-
saying we're gonna wait to do that until after talking with Chief Alexander, or do you want to get started on them in the meantime?
Oh, I was wondering, because you're saying starting those other steps, I'm wondering if you want to start drafting it. Or are we thinking that that he might say no speed change at all?
I mean, I guess I'm wondering, I don't think he'll be like no speed change, because I think he'll recognize that that's sort of within our purview, but I would be just because I don't know a lot about
Yeah.
He doesn't decide.
what do I want to say? Like, I'm not an expert on speed limits and how
Yeah.
they're distributed. And so I would love to get
Well,
like an expert opinion.
So what we could do is submit the action request, have it sent to us, like get it on the city council agenda first, have it sent to us so that it's in our agenda for the day that he's here, which is May 5th, I think.
Right.
And then we can use him during our deliberations. And then maybe we have to recommend back to the council that we actually don't recommend this. And then it will get voted down.
Interesting.
Okay, so
But that allows us to start working on it because otherwise we have to first make the ordinance request, right? The action request. And then it has to get approved at the next city council meeting, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow, right?
yes.
So that's already putting us 2 weeks out. It would just I feel like it would be starting it faster. Do you know what I mean? Like skipping a whole bunch of wasted time by making it the proposal.
So you'd want it on the agenda for the 22nd in order to get it something on
Get
the
it
agenda
here, yes, in order to get it on our agenda for
for
the
next
5th.
month.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say there's something about rushing it that feels uneasy for me. I think it doesn't seem like it's something to address. It's something that I think we have clear steps that we can address. I think outside of that, I don't feel like we've got to kind of get it on the docket immediately. In fact, I'd almost like to see the effects of some of those other mitigation strategies and give those time to play out a little bit. That's just my feeling. I think also, I recognize for traffic's sake, I think I have a little bit of mixed feelings about it, where it's East Street is a long street. It is a main thoroughfare for people getting from Holyoke to Northampton. And it does seem like the kind of street in Easthampton that would have a 35-mile-an-hour street speed limit to me.
Yeah.
But again, I just don't know enough about this stuff, I think, to speak intelligently about it, which is why I'd like more info. But
Well, I think the point that Amanda is making is we wouldn't have to decide, oh, it's going to be 35 or whatever, but it would be a line item on the public safety agenda for next time. So simply, you would just want to be able to submit the action request to the full city council in order for them to vote to send it back to us. Nothing would be changed, but it would be an agenda item that could be flushed out.
That could be talked about. And then the
Yeah.
other benefit is that people will, if you're listening to city council, meetings or you're reading the agendas, you'll see that this item is coming up. And if you have an opinion about it, you'll know you can go in these next 2 meetings because it's going to remain on the agenda. And as we do our bi-weekly reports out to the city council, we'll be we're still working on this. If you have opinions, we would like you to come to the public safety meeting. So it would give us more opportunity to hear from other residents too. Because I think one of the issues is transparency has been a thing that has come up. So a lot of people are I didn't even know you were working on this, right? And then it gets passed. So I'm thinking that having more time before we make a recommendation allows more ample time for people to actually notice this is something we're working on and participate in the public speak.
Yeah. Yeah. And it would be introduced and then you could keep putting we don't have, the decision doesn't have to be
It doesn't have
made
to
for
be made
months
now,
and
'cause I
months
could
and
keep
months.
requesting extensions too.
Right. So I think that, I generally agree with, you might too, but generally agree with Amanda. If we have it on the agenda, then it will be everybody can see that we're talking about the East Street speed limit and everybody can kind of come do the public speak, weigh and email us, do whatever. So it would be this might be a change that we're going to be making in the future. Make sure to pay attention to it.
I think that way it makes the community aware, this is a new issue that we're considering.
Chair Newton, sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's okay.
I'm casual.
No, it's okay. I don't care. Yeah, I think it would just be for transparency's sake. It would be good for them to know that we are considering this and we are starting to ask questions about it. Like, it's good for people to know, like, this is something we're asking questions about,
Yeah.
rather than ask the questions when people don't know it's something we're asking about. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah.
I think in that case, I might like to request that we take a similar approach to what was done with West Street, where I think it was a little bit more open-ended what was coming
Yes.
out of that. It was more like we're doing a review of the safety in this particular street
Right.
related to, speed.
Got it.
And so then that, I guess, would also inform people of some of these other steps.
Got it. That would be a good idea.
And then that would be, I guess, consistent with what has been done in the recent past as well.
Okay, I like that idea. Do you want to do the action request for that? So it would be like a proposal. I don't know what it would actually be, but it would be like a proposal to review traffic and safety on East Street instead of West Street. So we could
Right.
probably use the West Street one as a model, possibly.
Yeah,
But this would be for our next full meeting.
the 22nd.
Yeah, so ideally we would get it to Mary Ann the Thursday before the meeting so that it could be on that agenda, and then it will get sent to us.
Yes. And I mean, whomever wants to make the request, I don't care if you want me to make the request, Jonathan can make the request, that's fine. And we can also ask Connie, or one of us can ask Connie on Wednesday, like.
Yeah.
I've never made an action request, so.
Just put in like 2.
Did you?
at a time.
Okay, good.
So I figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems relatively straightforward.
It is.
It's just kind of like a form.
I want to find a friend on city council that will like walk me through each little piece of the thing.
Yeah, well, I did a resolution. I joined a resolution thing with Connie and Kayam, and then Connie's like, I think you should be the one to submit it so you can practice it, and I'll tell you like how to do it.
Right.
So that was a good opportunity. So maybe we're like asking Connie to join a
For
resolution.
rules, right? No.
Yeah, well, something on the next agenda.
Okay.
I was one like who submitted it, but there were other people working on it, but I got the practice of submitting.
Okay.
In that case, I wonder if it actually makes sense for us to, so if we're going to take the broader approach like was taken with West Street, kind of actually seems like, well, I guess we want to give Director Nuttleman and Chief Alexander a heads up, perhaps. I guess it feels like this changes my request a little bit from, hey, can you do this, to, hey, heads up, we're going to be talking about this, and like this is one of the pieces that we hope will come out of it. I'm still happy to make that contact. I'm just kind of thinking.
Yeah, because we can tell Chief Alexander that at the next month, one of the things that we want to talk about with him specifically is this East Street thing.
Mhm.
Because he said and Chief Alexander also said like they'd like to know like what are the things percolating that are coming up. So
Good, not blindsided.
I think that's a really good idea. Do we have any other pedestrian safety?
I know we were talking about Cottage Street at one. Is that still on the agenda?
We're on the roadway infrastructure.
I know we're
pedestrian
talking about
safety.
Cottage Street. I don't have anything to add to that right now, but I think that's something that we should continue the conversation around. I don't know if it's worth getting a study. I know there was a study, I'm not sure, I'd have to look in the thing a few years ago about Cottage Street safety, but I don't know.
Maybe we need a proposal for Cottage Street as well. So a proposal to review pedestrian safety and traffic and infrastructure just amongst us, right? Because we haven't had the chance to do that and not have an outside study, or maybe we determine that we think an outside study is necessary, but it would be good to have like that officially on the agenda because it does feel like a big thing that we're trying to like. I know both you and I are like concerned about it, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure where
Yeah.
you stand on it.
So I would remind us that there are a couple of things already coming for Cottage Street. One was, I believe, and this is I think all grant funded, and I can't remember who mentioned it specifically.
Bump out.
I think.
There's the bump outs and the flashing light indicator
Yeah,
things.
Nettleman mentioned.
And I think that they're also there's a necessity to redo the sort of like crossing outside of Marigold, the
No,
big crosswalk.
no, I think they're talking about up, where Maple, Clark and,
Oh yeah, that's
that
later.
section over where the
Where the mural, the Easthampton
Where the
mural
mural-
is.
where the,
Well, the Easthampton mural is where I'm talking about.
no, I'm talking about, across from Nini's by the convenience store. Where Maple hits Clark, hits,
It's like a 4-way.
Holy, or his Cottage Street.
Yeah.
And Holyoke kind of changes there. It's like the 5-way.
Yeah.
Whatever. I swear he was talking about,
There was something there, but then I thought it was like, because it's like a brick crosswalk that's in
Oh, I
like the
didn't hear
middle.
about that one.
I thought that was in need of
by Marigold.
Like
Like
I know the big
public
wide
parking
one.
lot. That's what I'm talking
What are you
about.
thinking about? Like, did he say they're gonna paint it or? Is that
If I'm correct that it is a brick like thing that's been installed into the road,
Yeah,
like I think that it is in need of like masonry,
Reinstallation?
like
Is it?
repair
Oh.
basically.
okay.
And at one point, somebody was talking about. No, I'm not even gonna say that because I don't think that's necessarily true. I'm not sure if that's true. But anyways, my point is being like I know that there are projects coming down the pipeline. I feel like there was a review done not that long ago that perhaps I don't
We
have
have
the full
to dig
details of
into
it.
maybe.
But I don't think, from a like a traffic study perspective, I think I would feel a lot more confident in what, a third party is coming up with. Than
Oh
like,
no, I was thinking about like a review of like what the city has already done. Like what are the so that we can really list out like these are the actions that have been taken because I think it all needs to be in one place. So that type of a review
gosh,
and like what are the concerns we still have. Not us making suggestions, but us like reviewing what's already been done, like how is that going, and then what concerns do we still have to kind of list out those concerns.
Greg Nettleman mentioned, that they had recently did a bump out and flashers in front of the Brass Cat. Is that what you're talking about?
I don't think that was the one that was getting installed. no.
I think
I don't think there is one.
I'm walking,
that's what
I'm
we gotta
walking
do would be
home
good.
down Cottage Street.
So that we can like map out like where is everything, what actually has been done, right?
Okay.
And like what is still a concerning area to us. Not like us designing the traffic, but like what are still some of the big concerns.
Okay.
Like I think lighting is a big concern, right?
Yeah, that was
That's-
mentioned several times.
I think that from my perspective anyway, I feel like that's the thing that would potentially like that as opposed setting aside the things that are already being planned, because I do think the cutouts probably will have an impact on
Yeah.
traffic on that street. The other thing that I feel like is most impactful from my perspective is probably the lighting, just so people are more able to see
Yeah.
pedestrians in the first place.
And then I think the other thing that is a question is like parking, right?
So
That's a
probably
tough one. That's a
ongoing
tough one.
conversation.
Whether that should be a one way, not
Not
one
one
side.
way, but get rid of parking on one side. But the concern that I've heard is people just drive faster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it creates a traffic calming because you have to slow down. And that, if you cut out, like, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be maybe only parking on one side, but I've heard arguments that if you cut out parking on one side, people just move faster down Cottage Street and pedestrian safety will get worse because you get hit by a car at 5-10 miles an hour is a lot different than getting hit by 30-40 miles an hour.
What about what they did on Main Street where they like made it into like seating area? Remember when they did that? And they do that in the summer. They put the Jersey barriers up and everything. So
If I could wave a magic wand, I would Cottage Street, there would be no traffic at Cottage Street and it would just be open shopping area and traffic went somewhere else. But that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, the state highway.
The state highway restriction and the bridge. The only other, well, you can
The
go down
bridge,
like
what bridge?
this bridge.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
a
that's a
waterway.
bridge.
Yeah, that's a bridge. I walk down this all the time.
I always forget that's actually a bridge.
There's a bridge right there, yeah, waterfall,
Yeah,
goes under the building,
right.
yeah. It's a problem. Well, it's not a problem, it's just an obstacle.
Yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to do, I think I'm gonna email Director Nettleman to talk about like a little more specifics on when the warm patching of potholes will be in, because there have been some things that have happened. And I've talked about how it can't be until the plant opens, but like when does the plant open actually? So that I have a better answer for people.
I'll go out there with them.
I did tell them like they're putting down like 40 tons a day. But I think that's what he said. Yeah. Were there any other?
Feel free to send along that information when you have
I
it.
will. Were there any other like things that have come up for you guys?
No, but I'll keep
Or
my eyes
residents?
open. I don't think I've had any emails about that. I know I third party, but it's not an issue. But I heard from a friend of mine who's on a group chat thing with people in the neighborhood. People are complaining about people flying down Knight Avenue to get to Glendale and stuff. But, and I know they're doing work over there.
They're,
aren't
like,
they?
replacing the road. I think that's the section that's getting replaced.
Yeah, with the sidewalks and stuff. Yeah.
1 mile of Easthampton.
Yes, there's. I've heard that there's some unhappy residents over there.
Okay, so are we ready to move to item C? Is that okay?
Oh, this
So,
is totally
I'm gonna say
your
it's-
wheelhouse.
It's 8 o'clock. How much do you have prepared? And do you think we should schedule a separate meeting just to work on this?
I'm in favor of that.
I am too,
Bad idea,
because I think it's late. It's
I
really late
think
at
it's
this point.
late. And I think if we schedule a separate meeting, it's like an hour.
Yeah,
I think it could pretty much almost be done, except for maybe it's all streets, right? It's all streets, just 8 pages, right?
so could
And we
we,
did 2 the other day.
what do you,
Well, we started, I'm not sure.
but
what
then we
happened.
got really into the grammar of everything.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, what do you think is a good time? Okay, daytime.
Not the third Tuesday. What daytime?
Like what
What day of the
time,
week?
what day and time, day/time?
You tell me. I'm gonna say, I'll tell you if I can't do it.
So the third Tuesday is also a conflict for me. I would say other Tuesdays are generally fine.
Other Tuesdays besides this meeting and the third Tuesday, so not the first or third Tuesday, the second or fourth.
So the second would work.
Yeah,
Do we want to do it the 14th or do we want to wait till like May? Oh, we also don't have the 21st this month, right? Because it's falling on
21st
the
is,
28th. We're having it on the 29th and the 15th city council, right?
we're having it tomorrow and the
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Second.
22nd. It's usually the first and third. It's, wait.
Yeah, this month we're doing second and fourth.
Yeah, it's the first was
So does 4th Tuesday work?
of this month.
Yeah.
I think so.
So that would be April 28th.
Okay.
6 is better for me. I can't really get here earlier than
6, yeah.
6.
Okay. But that's gonna be the only thing on our agenda.
Only thing on that agenda. So I'll submit that thing with only that on the agenda. And then at the meeting tomorrow, I'll tell them that our next meeting is April 28th and then there won't be anyone visiting on April 28th. Is that
Do you have public speak or anything?
Oh, I guess I have to find out if that is a requirement to have public speak. I think it is.
I think it is.
So if there will be public speak, there will be the mayoral communications, but we won't have the quarterly review from
Right,
anyone, and we
which-
won't have any of the other items on there. We'll
And that
just
eats
have-
up all the time that's really the core.
Yeah, that's really nice. So we're just gonna have that, but yes, the top part is gonna say all the regular things. Like we can, if we don't have the minutes at that point, or we could review them at that point and pass them.
I wonder if we kind of have to leave the other things on the agenda, but we would just skip them.
Oh, you're right.
Because I don't think we could just I don't think we can take something off of the agenda
You're
even
right.
if
You're right.
temporarily.
You're right.
But that might be a question we can ask.
What we'll have to do is we'll have to suspend the rules for that meeting so that we can skip agenda items,
Yeah, okay.
right?
I think we could just, because so, on a different committee, like there have been items where we just didn't have new information on it. And so we just kind of, it's like, okay,
Okay.
there's no new information, we'll move
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
Just kind of, yeah.
Okay,
skip to the end.
Okay, so actually our next meeting is April 28th then, instead of May 5th. Okay,
That will even give us the opportunity, we could speak, since we're not doing a quarterly review, we could, if we found another traffic or pedestrian safety issue, we could mention it
Yeah.
briefly.
but our main goal for that meeting is to
Yes.
really make a ton of progress on this because we would like to get this off our agenda.
Okay.
I want things moving off the agenda,
And then
things that are actually
adding
doable.
more.
Yeah,
Then
but like
adding more.
stuff that's actually doable shouldn't be sitting there for very long.
Okay, sounds great.
I think that's everything. So I think there's no new business. But I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Adjourned. Motion passes.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.